I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I am joined today by Christina Mireles, who is the Executive Director of the Peninsula College Fund. Christina, welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
So you're relatively new to
am.
Peninsula College Fund. So before we sort of talk about what Peninsula College Fund is, what they do, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be at the Peninsula College Fund.
Okay. You are correct. I am new. And I started several months ago, I think, at this point, and coming from the charter school sector. So for about 9 years, and I was essentially the COO of a charter school in East San Jose. And so that, combined with my personal story, led me to PCF.
So some of our viewers, we've had a previous executive director on the program before, but some of our viewers are probably saying, what is the Peninsula College Fund? So give us a little bit of background.
Okay, so we are a 501c3 based in Redwood City, and we provide scholarships, mentors, trainings, and internships / career support to first-generation low-income college students.
So you typically receive applications from individuals or students in their senior year of high school.
Correct.
And they apply, and then you have a selection process, and then they become, if they're selected,
they become PCF scholars, excuse me, and then at that point, they are carefully paired with a mentor who is with them for the duration of their 4 years in college. And then they're also receiving these other services along the way.
So let's take a little time and talk about each one of those 4 segments that you talked about. So the first one being the scholarship.
Right.
So you have an application process. What are sort of the criteria that you're looking for? You mentioned in the beginning, first generation, and then there is an income requirement.
First generation, low income, there's a GPA requirement. They go through an application, as you mentioned, an application process. So they will be responding to short questions, and then there's also an in-person interview that's the community at large gets to not only be involved in the reading of the applications, but also in the in-person interviews with the students. And then at the end, everyone gets together, has a powwow, and makes the really difficult decision of selecting the scholars, because inevitably we have more applicants than we are able to award scholarships.
So in the scholarship arena, or when you're choosing who might become a Peninsula College Fund student, what geographic area are you serving?
We are serving the Peninsula, certainly, so Redwood City, East Palo Alto. We've also expanded into East San Jose as well, most recently, but primarily Peninsula, East San Jose.
So you're obviously working closely with high school counselors.
Correct.
How do you choose a high school that you may, because as you said before, there are far more high schools and far greater need. But how do you choose what high school you might be working with then to then receive applications and hopefully then be granting these scholarships from these particular areas?
Great question. We were actually just talking about that very topic in the office yesterday. So it really is looking at student demographics and looking to see if there is a good fit at the high school in terms of the number of, the number we're looking, again, going back to the low-income students, going back to the first-generation student, and trying to find
where those populations reside.
Critical mass of those populations. Those are going to be the high schools that are the best fit, and certainly high schools that with counselors who want to work with us.
So name a few high schools in San Mateo County that you're working with.
We are working with Woodside, Eastside College Prep,
Sequoia High School.
Sequoia High School, thank you, right. And so those are some of the high schools.
So mainly in Redwood City, Menlo Park, East Palo Alto tend to be where the populations that you're serving tend to reside.
Correct.
So that's one part of the program, is that scholarship, and you provide how much annually?
It's $3,000 for each of the 4 years, so it's $12,000 It's a $12,000 scholarship over the course of the 4 years.
Okay. And are they restricted in how they can use that fund? Is it tuition only?
Tuition and educational expenses is really what the IRS expects, how the IRS expects students to use the funds.
Okay. And then now the second part, mentorship. So they are partnered with an individual that helps them sort of navigate their college career. Tell us a little bit about that part.
So of the 4 services, and each of the 4 services is incredibly important to the scholar, but the mentor piece is really the crux of it in a lot of ways.
And I think it's very unique.
It is. And
to what PCF does.
And so a mentor, again, is carefully selected by PCF staff. We're looking at things like what does a mentor do? What did they major in college? And can we find a scholar who has similar interests, similar goals?
And we should say the mentors are volunteers.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the mentors do volunteer for the 4 years, and they are for a first-year student, the mentor is going to be helping them with navigating through college.
Right.
Going away to college, it's a big deal.
Right.
So
the homesickness.
How do I deal with homesickness? Living with a roommate, self-care, budgeting. You're on your own.
Right. Time management.
Absolutely.
There's some freedom that we didn't have before.
Right. And how do I deal with that?
Right.
And so the mentor is doing that, and as the students progress throughout their college career, becoming upper class students, the guidance is going to shift a little bit. So being careful about, okay, what classes am I selecting? How do I pick a major?
Right.
And then also, junior, senior year, it's going to be shifting again to what am I doing after college?
Right, career
and
development.
The career development side of things, and so the mentor advice, it does evolve over time. One of the things that I'm hearing over and over that is from both the mentor and the scholar is that it starts out as a mentor-mentee relationship, but really evolves into oftentimes a lifelong friendship.
Right. And I should say that through the website, you're always looking for mentors. There's just this annual recruitment of looking for new volunteers. And you have a great training program. So anybody who's viewing today who might think they're at all interested, it doesn't take a special degree to be a mentor. It's just a want to help and pass on.
It's certainly a want to help. We do have some eligibility requirements.
Right.
I think 25 years old, have work experience, have a college degree. But really, what's going to be important is wanting to help.
Right. And you train your mentors.
We do offer trainings. We have a big one in the spring and several trainings throughout the year.
So we just have like 2 minutes to talk about the other 2 particular services, which are really important, and that is the college and career trainings, and then also your career development, your internship. So tell us very quickly about those 2.
Okay, so the college and the training piece, we actually just completed a very successful 3-day conference at the end of July. So we had some students, upper class students at Salesforce, meeting with volunteers from Salesforce, some getting to do mock interviews, and others just getting a sense of what it's like to work in this company. We also offered various workshops at that conference. Again, navigating through college life, picking classes, help with resumes, that sort of thing. And then at the end, it culminated with a career exploration fair. We had many wonderful volunteers from organizations and companies throughout Silicon Valley come and talk to our students.
And that's sort of that 4th piece where you continue to try and provide internships every summer for the students, as well as once graduation happens, their career and job path.
Absolutely.
Working through that. So we are out of time, but I do want to say that I know that Peninsula College Fund is a nonprofit. It is dependent on the generosity of the community and donors. And you've got names like J. Paul Company and Facebook and Innovate Foundation, who are some of the greatest donors. But you also have folks that have just scholarship someone for the next 4 years. So I hope that everyone will jump on your website and continue to want to
Thank you.
support
Thank you.
Peninsula College Fund, either through their time or their treasure.
Thank
Christina,
you.
thanks so much. We didn't even get into the statistics of the students and how many you've graduated and what they are doing today, but some are PhDs and
Absolutely.
some are
They're
master
doing
degrees,
great
and
things.
some are in molecular biology, and some are going back to their communities and teaching. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for Peninsula College Fund.
Thank you.
And we'll see all of you next time on Penn.